Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Weather's hot and sticky. It feels like it's the end of July instead of the middle of June. A little warmer than normal here, but it's what it is, and we got to figure out a way to deal with it because we don't really have any other choice, right? So yeah, new escalations today in the march towards World War III. I'm sure you're all so surprised at that, right? And probably tired of it. It's just, it's like a Band-Aid. Rip the doggone thing off and let's get it on with. If it's going to happen, let it happen. I mean, at this point, no one, it seems, is trying to avert World War III. I've not seen any, legitimate effort on anyone's part to try to keep this from happening. It's mostly just been, oh, no, it's not going to happen for a while. Oh, it's not as bad as you think. Oh, those Russian ships down in Cuba, that's just a normal thing every few years. It's not a big deal. Oh, what Putin is saying is not a big, what China's doing, it's not a big deal. I don't see anyone actually trying to stop it. And it's interesting because this sentiment that we're not near World War III, that it's not going to happen, that it's over-exaggerating, is pretty much only found in the United States. Most countries in Europe, Russia, China, according to what I've read in the news, just about everywhere, polling shows that the people feel that we're pretty doggone close. 60+% of the population in Russia, they think that World War III is going to happen any day now. People all over Europe are preparing for it. I mean, even Poland and other countries are telling their people to start stocking up. Clean out them old bunkers and bomb shelters from World War II. Get them ready, because it's that close. Well, today, Ukraine announced that they're now ready to start using F-16s. They are coordinating with their ground forces to start making plans to use the F-16s, and the rumor is that they're going to start using them in Crimea. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if they do, that's even more of an escalation than just using them. Just using them alone is an escalation because Russia has said, and I don't blame them on this. I'm not favoring Russia. I see their point. F-16s are nuclear capable. They're capable of carrying nuclear warheads. Russia has no idea if they have them on or not, and so they're going to treat every F-16 that hits the sky as if it had nuclear warheads. And who's to say that one wouldn't get used to, kind of start a false flag World War III? Who knows? But anyways, so Ukraine says that they're ready to start using them, and they're coordinating with their ground forces, and they're making plans to go ahead and start putting them into battle. Well, then also today, the General Secretary of NATO, Stoltenberg or whatever it is, I don't know if this was a Freudian slip or if this was just an honest mistake. But when he was talking about this, he was talking about this too, about, the F-16s are now ready to use in Ukraine. And he first said that they will be flown by NATO pilots. Now, pause for just a moment. It's already been confirmed that these F-16s will not be based in Ukraine. They will be based in NATO territory, Poland, maybe a few other places. They will fly out of those areas, go into Ukraine, do their stuff, and then come back. And they'll be based there. And that's one of the things that Russia said, listen, just because those planes are based over there in NATO territory, if they're flying out of that base and they're coming after us, then that base will be attacked too. Well, now he slipped and said, well, and they'll be flown by NATO pilots. And then he corrected himself, because you may see this in other videos and they may not tell you that part. He did correct himself and say, I mean Ukrainian Air Force pilots. Now, It's been suspected for a while that there'll actually be NATO pilots that have joined the Ukrainian Air Force. I don't know. It's another step, folks. And I know I say this all the time. Everyone's tired of it. They've been desensitized by it. It's been drug out so long already. Everyone's tired of it. You know, just let it happen. And most likely, eventually, at some point, something will happen. What will that something be? I have no clue. Neither do you. I mean, we can have ideas, but we don't know. But something is going to happen, most likely. And it's close to the election. Wars always help sitting presidents get reelected. They always do. Just about every president in the last century that was up for re-election during a war got reelected. And so, you know that's got to be factored in the whole Biden campaign. Of course, they figured that out. Plus, it's just chaotic. If it's World War III and there's some radically increased threat to the United States, oh well, we gotta not have the elections, or we gotta not have, vote in-person elections. We got to do it mail-in or on your phone app or something crazy like that. I wouldn't put it past them. They got to do something, obviously. I mean, at this point, only a fool would think that the election's just going to be normal, right? Because, I mean, look at who they've got running. I mean, even if Trump was as awful as people say they are, maybe he is. I mean, I get emails all the time. As I said this morning, I talked about how many Trump supporters contact me and tell me I should support Trump more. I should be more open about it. I get just as many people telling me how they are just 100% positive that Trump is the Antichrist, or he's going to open the doorways for the Antichrist, all this kind of stuff. I'm not here to tell you either way. That's your opinion. But even if Trump was just as awful as anyone says he is, at least the dude's got a pulse and can walk around and put a couple of sentences together. Whereas Biden, on the other hand, I mean, talk about Weekend at Bernie's. They know, they got to do something if they continue to put him up for re-election. If he's actually going to be on the ballot, I'm still leaning towards something's going to happen. And he won't be on the ballot. But either way. And what that means is that we're in for a really rough ride. I talked about this over on Locals today. We're in for a rough ride one way or the other. It doesn't matter if Biden gets elected, if Trump gets elected, if there is no election. I don't see any, at least short-term and moderate-term, positive options, and really long-term. I don't see any positive options. I don't see any positive scenarios that things could turn around and things would be great. Even if Trump is the greatest guy in the world, there's going to be a lot of, and he gets elected, there's going to be a lot of chaos because of that, okay? War, illegals, pandemic, food supply problems, government is the big brother of government. The big brother is all over. I mean, there's, what state was it? Was it Michigan or someplace? I can't remember. I don't think it's been signed yet, but they're trying to pass a bill. It looks like it's going to get passed. Maybe it has already. It's going to make it a crime that you can get fined if you misgender someone. We've got states that are trying to take water rights away. We've got the, pushing on this fake lab created food everywhere. It's crazy. It's all it is. It's craziness. We're watching the house of cards fall. We're watching, I believe, those days of Noah, those birthing pangs that lead us up into the end. And so we have to realize that it's just going to get worse. It's going to get worse before it gets worse. And that sucks. I mean, no one wants to think about that. No one wants to live through that, no matter how prepared you are. But guess what? We don't have a choice at this point. At this point, it doesn't matter who gets elected. It doesn't matter. It's still going to be chaotic one way or the other. We have to wake up, get up off our hind ends, get busy. You know, if I hear it all the time, I ain't got the money. I'm broke, I'm poor. All right, well, try to pick up some extra work somewhere. Make a little extra money and dedicate that money towards preparations. You know, I'm too old. Well, there's a lot of things that you can still do. You know, there's a lot of things. We all need to be getting ready for this, folks. Because, I mean, when you sit there and just kind of play it out in your head of what's going on, all the possibilities, what we've been through, and any possible direction that we're going, it's not good. So you need to be waking up. This F-16 thing, it's another escalation. And is it going to be the one that crosses that line of an Article 5 and World War III? I don't know. But it's definitely getting us closer to that line. And I mean, come on, guys and gals. Okay, I gotta be politically correct. Keep moving, keep prepping, keep training, keep building relationships with other people, learn new skills, get to the place that you want to be. Just today, I stopped at one of the little stores around here and was walking in, and I hear this voice, "Hey, you're that YouTube guy." Never met this guy before. They just moved here, young couple. They just moved here, from out of state. So they'd been watching my videos and stuff, and they realized that where they were was just not the place to survive all this. And so they found them a place, and they moved here, brand new. Really sound like some really, really good people. People are doing it all the time, and you're going to have to make sacrifices. But here's the thing. The sacrifices you make now, that you choose to make now, will only, if it's done right, if you're smart, if you're wise about it, the sacrifices you make now in your preparations, whether that's moving or sacrificing funds to purchase the right things or whatever it is, time to develop skills, whatever, it is just adding to your overall wealth of knowledge or wealth or chances of survival. Whereas if you don't do anything, or you do a lot less, when things all fall apart, you're going to have to sacrifice stuff then too. It's just going to be a lot harder and a lot worse, and it's going to be against your will. So I would suggest making those sacrifices now, where you have some control over what those sacrifices are. Because it may not be much longer before you don't have a choice. It's out of your control. And the sacrifices and the hardship will be a lot worse. So folks, get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.